To start our web browser hunt, we're going to take a look at a browser called Netsurf. Netsurf is a minimalist and lightweight browser for Windows, Unix-like systems such as Linux, RISC OS, and pretty much every other operating system you can imagine. The thing that I like most about Netsurf is that it uses its own browser engine, unlike almost every other web browser that tends to just be based on Chromium. This makes Netsurf very unique in what is otherwise quite a stale market. The downside to this, however, is that Netsurf has compatibility issues and its JavaScript implementation is still very incomplete. Another cool thing about this browser is that it's extremely lightweight. On my desktop PC, the browser uses less than 100 megabytes of RAM and less than 1% of my CPU. This is truly a browser that keeps efficiency in mind first and foremost. But speed and efficiency doesn't mean very much if the browser is terrible to actually use. So let's take a closer look at Netsurf and see what the day-to-day experience of using it is like. Opening up Netsurf reveals a basic UI somewhat reminiscent of old-school Internet Explorer. You're also greeted by Netsurf's default start page that links to some documentation, a few pages that work well in the browser, and a search box that simply redirects to Google. To be honest, with Netsurf, what you see is what you get. It's just you, the web, and no fancy features. That's it. Predictably, there aren't any browser extensions for Netsurf either, though considering the fact that most ads are completely unable to load anyway, that's no huge loss. To be perfectly honest, the only way that this browser's simplicity frustrates me in any significant way is the fact that you can't change the default search engine. It's set to Google, and you can't change it, which is absolutely not something that any FOSS browser should be doing as far as I'm concerned. Although, other than that, I do kind of enjoy this browser's simplicity. It feels like a callback to simpler times for the web. Now, let's talk about what browsing the web with Netsurf is actually like, since that's the most important thing for any browser. Unfortunately, it's not great. Almost every single page on the modern web will not load correctly because the modern web is so bloated and dependent on needlessly complex technologies that a small browser like Netsurf can't possibly keep up. That said though, if your primary objective is to see the text and image content of websites, then Netsurf will probably work fine. I'm yet to find any sites that are straight up impossible to browse, though I would still say that Netsurf is limited to articles and general web browsing. I don't think that you're going to be able to use any social media sites or log into any of your online accounts using this browser, nor would you really want to. So in conclusion, Netsurf isn't even remotely close to replacing your main browser. Now, I accept that what I'm about to say could be proven wrong in a few years' time, but I just don't believe that it's possible for anyone other than the biggest players in the browser scene to create a browser engine from scratch that can rival Chrome and Firefox. I mean, Firefox even struggles to keep up with Chrome sometimes. However, Netsurf doesn't need to compete with Firefox and Chrome. It's carved out its own niche by being lightweight enough to run on just about anything. Sure, not many pages work well in Netsurf, but I can't begin to tell you how much I would love to load this browser up on an old Intel Atom netbook and use it as a highly portable device to read the news and Wikipedia articles. I really do love Netsurf for the sole reason that it opens up possibilities like that. In a world full of bloated browsers, Netsurf brings the web to older machines, and for that, I seriously have to commend them. I also should add, Netsurf is regularly updated. In fact, the version of Netsurf in the Arch repos has far more features than the stable version that I used for testing. So, given enough time, it's possible that some of these features will land in the stable version of Netsurf, making it far more feature-rich and compatible with the modern web. With that said though, That's it for today's video. I thank you for watching it, and I will see you in the next one.